my day, my daughter was, she's 3. My daughter was really dysregulated. It was getting late in the day and I was overstimulated. She's crying about something. Usually I'll say, hey, first we have to do this, then we have to do that. And she's usually pretty good with that. But this time when I said, hey, first we have to do this and then you can get that, in her mind, she was already so dysregulated. All she heard was no, right? She didn't, was a delay in her need for gratification, right? So she didn't hear me saying, wait a second, let's do this. She heard, no, you can't do this, or no, you can't have that. So, you know, the waterworks start, the heavy cries, the not listening. I'm trying to explain to her and she's crying louder. And I'm like, all right, I'm already overstimulated. I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting aggravated. So I was like, all right, Aaliyah, I'm going downstairs. She starts crying louder. I just let myself breathe. I walked away. I went downstairs for a couple minutes. I'm working on cooking dinner. Like 5 minutes go by and I still hear her crying. So I go upstairs and she's laying on the floor crying, looking at me. I said, Aaliyah, are you done? She looks at me, shakes her head, yes. I said, okay, come over here and give me a hug. And as soon as I hug her, she says to me, Mom, it really hurts my feelings when you walk away. When I say, like, I just melted in that moment that she was really able to verbalize what happened and how she felt, you know, although she was crying before I walked away, I think her recognizing that, you know, it made her feel even more dysregulated and anxious because I walked away and she was able to express that to me. I thought that was a beautiful thing. And I apologized. I said, hey, I'm sorry that I walked away and that hurt your feelings, right? And she said, it's okay. I gave her a hug. Now I could have said, hey, the reason I walked away is because you were having a tantrum and I was getting overwhelmed and I didn't want to yell at you. So, oh well, right? That's what I could have said. But after I apologized, I said, Mommy really needed to walk away because I was getting overwhelmed and frustrated and I needed a second. And she said she understood, right? Because in that moment, me walking away meant that I was upset with her, right? And in her head, it's like, Mommy's leaving. It's my fault. Why'd she walk away, right? So if I can offer her that little bit, like, hey, I just needed a break, and even if I do that next time, right, maybe she'll hear me, maybe she won't, but I can consider, like, maybe she needs proximity in that moment. Maybe I can go across the hall instead of going all the way downstairs. What's going to give her that reassurance that even though I'm leaving, I'll always come back? And that's what I explained to her. Like, Mommy might need to step away, Mommy might need to take a moment, but I love you, and I'll always come back. So just give me a minute. We'll always come back together. I'll give you a hug. I'll always love you, even when you're frustrated, even when you're sad, even when I'm frustrated, even when I'm sad. The fact that I'm here for you and I love you is not going to change. And that gave her the reassurance that she needed. She calmed down, she came downstairs, and we went on with her day.